Welcome to Love and Relationship. My name is Ndun Indun. Today I want to talk about the 2P's of a man's temptation in marriage. The 2P's of a man's temptation in marriage. Now, you see, a man and a woman face different kinds of temptations. And I want you to understand that there are internal temptations and there are external temptations. Now, internal temptations in marriage are the temptations where your spouse does things and you feel provoked to do the negative or do, something that you shouldn't do. So they are internal temptations. Now you find out that most of the time, men facing internal temptation has to do with them, being tempted to respond physically. That's where you have the physical abuse because, people say women fight with their mouth and men fight with their hands. Now, it's a temptation. When you feel like laying your hand on your woman, that is a temptation. Don't do that. Walk away. No matter what she says, understand that this is a matured woman. This is a grown-up woman. You wouldn't want anybody to beat you up because the person can do that. So I'm talking to all men. Let us avoid physical abuse. Let's avoid every kind of abuse. No matter how tempted you are, walk away from that scenario. Go somewhere and clear your head and relax. Don't do what you will regret in future. So it's a temptation. When you are angry, you feel like responding this way. You feel like doing this. And one of the things I see is that most of the time when people are angry, they feel like withholding what they should give their spouses. For example, the man should show care and affection. Most men will withhold the care, they withhold the affection, and that makes the relationship deteriorate. It affects the relationship negatively. Friends, when you're faced with that kind of temptation, it's not time to withhold that which you should give. Because a lot of times when you see a woman behave that way, when you see your woman angry with you or doing things she's not supposed to do, most of the time she is longing for something. She is missing something. She wants your love. She wants your attention. And it's time for you to try to see how you can help her overcome that limitation. It's not right for a woman to abuse the man. It's not right for the man to abuse the woman. It's not right for a woman to disrespect the man. It's not right for the man to try to take advantage of the woman because he's stronger. So what I'm saying in essence is that sometimes one person is weak. The other one is expected to be strong. So when your partner seems to be weak in a certain aspect, don't fall for the temptation of destroying the person or, getting into that level of fighting and abuse and all of that. Try to withhold yourself. Remember that we all have the grace to have self-control. Understand that this person is acting because of some negative influences. It could be how the person feels. It could be what the person hears from others. Whatever it is, I want you to understand that most of the time, it is external influences that causes people to behave certain ways. So it's better to sit down and ask your partner, why are you behaving this way? Why are you doing things this way? Than for you to respond angrily and bitterly and respond in a way that can cause harm. So internal temptations for a man is majorly how to control your temper, control your anger, control yourself from not inflicting hurt or not escalating issues. Remember, you are the leader of the home. If you destroy your home, what are you left with? Nothing is left there. So let's try and have that control over our lives. Now, you see, sometimes internal temptations can even be temptations from family, from friends, from in-laws, from different people that surround you. They just want to make negative input that they should not make. I want you to understand that you have a vision for your marriage. If people say things that will not allow you go in the direction of your vision, you don't have to pay attention to that. Make sure that you can lead your family in the direction that you want the marriage to go and not submit yourself to whatever people are trying to do to distract you. So it's important to understand that your marriage is very important to you. You have to lead it in the direction that you want it to go. Now, the 2P's are majorly the 2P's of external temptation. The first P is a temptation for power. If you know man, most men want power. You know, if you want to tempt a man, tempt him with something that will make him feel powerful. And that's why you see, even when the devil was tempting Jesus, he said to him, if you're the Son of God, turn this stone to bread. It's a show of power. You know, show me that you have the power to do this. But Jesus did not fall for that temptation. He said to him, man shall not live by bread alone. I know some men would have said, come on, come, let me show you. In fact, I'm going to do 2 loaves of bread, not even 1. But you see, it's not necessary. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. I want you to understand that you are who you are, especially if you're a child of God. You are a son of the Most High. So you don't have to prove yourself. When people want to say, show me this. And you know, sometimes even you can be in a position where your woman will say, prove you're a man, do this. Don't do all of that. Just leave it. Because Jesus did not try to prove himself to the devil. So it's a temptation for power. And he also took him somewhere and said to him, look at all of this. I will give it to you. That's the second P. It's a temptation for pleasure. You see, men like pleasure. And that is why you see men are easily distracted. Some men are easily distracted with what they see. You know, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, distracted with women and all of that, with parties, with fun and all of those things. Listen, it's good to have fun, but you cannot have fun at the detriment of your partner. So you have to understand that those temptations, they come to destroy your life and your relationship. If you feel tempted to be with another woman to have fun, what will that profit you at the end of the day? So I'm just saying this to men. Watch out for these 2 P's. Temptation for power, which even has to do with money. That's why you see some men will do anything to have money. Because they believe when they have money, they have power. When they have money, they have wealth, they have this, they can command anything to be, they can do anything, go anywhere. It's a temptation. A man's life is not consist in the abundance of what he has. So don't put your hand in dirty things just because you want to have money. Understand that the peace that you have is very important. There are people who have money, they don't have peace. There are people who have money, they don't have good health, they don't have the right well-being. Even mental well-being, they don't have it. So there are things that you have that you need to be grateful for. And I want you to work with those things. And as you are faithful in the little things God is giving you, you will grow to become rich. You will grow to become whoever God wants you to be. But do not be tempted to do wrong things for power or for pleasure. And I want to say this to men, especially for pleasure, because a lot of times what really moves a lot of men is the thought of fun and pleasure. And they have this idea of pleasure with other people, not with their partner. Why can't you create the kind of pleasure you want with your wife? Why can't you build it? I mean, what do you see in other women you cannot replicate with your woman? She is a woman. So I want you to understand that those things are temptations to destroy your life. If you go into infidelity, I always say to people, count the cost. Count the cost. It's not everything that comes to you that will profit you. When you deduct the expenditure of infidelity, what it will cost you, it can cost you your life, your job, your family, everything. It is not worth it. So when you are thinking of pleasure as a man, create it with your partner. Create it with your woman. Don't be distracted outside. Because there is a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end leads to destruction. Sometimes it looks like it's right for you. It looks like, oh, I'm having fun. Oh, this is... But have you ever thought about where you will end if you go through that path? So I'm calling on men today. Watch out for these 2 P's. The temptation to feel powerful, which has to do with money, whatever it is that can tempt you, that can make you feel you're in control. Even with your woman, don't try to exercise force over her because you want to show you are powerful. It's not necessary. Because sometimes you can be tempted. You know, the woman can say things and you feel like, let me show this woman that I am the boss, that I am a man, and I am that. It is not necessary at all. So know who you are, believe in who you are, and be focused on producing the kind of marriage, the kind of relationship you want to have. Be watchful for the temptation of power and the temptation of pleasure. And I want to call on every man today to say, please listen to me. You can have whatever kind of relationship or marriage you want to have. Sit down with your partner and discuss the things that you want. Don't hide your feelings, even your fantasies. Sometimes you may be surprised that your partner is open to meeting even your fantasies. So be open, be honest. Share things with your partner. Have fun. Be joking. Be fun-filled. You don't have to take everything seriously. Make sure that you can create the kind of relationship you want. And I pray that God will help you overcome every temptation in your life. Remember what the Bible says, say, watch and pray that you do not fall into temptation. And I say that to you today, watch and pray. Be prayerful and let God lead you. There are places you are not meant to be. They are the kind of friends you are not meant to keep. Understand your vision. And anybody who is not leading you to fulfill your vision, that person is not meant for you at that time. So I pray that God will help you. And if you've fallen into temptation here and there, ask God to deliver you. Speak to your partner. You can get yourself out of it. You can be delivered. Don't allow yourself to go deeper. And I am praying that God will strengthen you, that he will help you, will give you the wisdom you need to overcome every temptation in your life and to build a happy and lasting relationship. Thank you very much for joining me today. Until next time, God bless you.
You may visit our website for details of our events and register at www.livingasoneevents.com. You can also get our books on relationships. We also do counseling for couples and singles who want to make the right decisions regarding their relationships. For more info, please contact us on 078 255 4517 or email us at livingasoneevents@gmail.com. God bless you.